Hello guys, welcome. On today's tutorial, we are going to take a step further in our network analysis tutorial. On the previous tutorial, we looked at shortest distance using the shortest path point to point. Right, good. Now, still using that shortest distance, that's the shortest path point to point, we want to know the fastest route. Right, good. So the other time we used shortest where we did not introduce the field for speed. Now if we open the attribute table of this particular road layer, you are going to see the different types of roads, you are going to see their length, and then you're also going to see the speed that we have assigned to those roads. Right, good. Now having assigned those speeds to those roads, we also have 2 points for start and then for end. So we want to know, moving from this start point to this end point, using these different speeds that we have assigned to different routes, which will be the fastest route. Right, good. Which will be the fastest path that it will take for anybody to move from this start point to this end point, taking into consideration the different speed limits that we have on these different routes. So we come to the shortest path point to point, and then the vector layer representing the network is this our road. Then the path to calculate, instead of shortest, we are going with what? Fastest. Right, good. Now for the start point, you can either write or type the coordinates, or you select from the screen. So let's zoom to layer so we know that we have the same resolution. So let's say we use this as the start, and then for the end, let's still zoom to layer, and then we use this as what? The end. Right, good. So we have populated the start point and the end point coordinates. Now let's come to advanced parameters. Now the direction field, we still leave it as default as it is, and then okay, let's take this up a bit. Where we are of interest, or where is of interest to us, is this speed field. Right, good. Now when you have chosen fastest, you are talking about speed. And you know that speed is a function of distance and time. Right, good. You know that's basic mathematics and physics. Right, speed is a function of distance and time. So when you have decided to say the fastest route, then you're talking about speed. And then if you go by the default 50 km/h, let's see, let's click on run. It is going to give us what? The fastest route, which has been defined to be this. Right, good. So if we now move it from that 50 km/h, which is the default there, and then we decide to use the speed field, which we have inside of our attribute table of this our road layer. Right, good. So you know that in this our attribute table, we have different speed limits. Right, good. We have 50, 25. They are just some arbitrary values. So we have now said, instead of using the 50, which is default, you can decide to delete, you can decide to leave it as default as it is. It will no longer be used. So instead of using the 50, you can now decide to use what? The speed field. So now based on the speed, right? So let's run. So we have a second part. Let's zoom that to layer. So for legibility, we can decide to change the colors. Good. You can see that when we assigned the speed field that now contains different speed values for the different routes or the different types of routes, the fastest path that was calculated is different from the fastest path that was calculated when they were all having the same 50 km/h. Right, good. Remember we told you the fastest is dependent on what? Speed. Right, so when they were having a default 50 km/h, we add this our black line as the fastest path. However, when we now define the speed limit for each of these routes, we now add this as what? The fastest path. What this simply means is that moving from this start point to this end point, taking into consideration the speed limit of these different routes, this will be the fastest path for you to move from this point to this end point. Right, however, if you use a flat rate, if you use a flat speed limit of 50 km/h, which we did earlier, this was what? The fastest the fastest route. So if you open up the attribute table, you are going to see a new field called cost. This cost is the time it took you from point A to point B. Right, good. Having assigned the speed limits of the different roads. So now this cost is actually in hours. Right, good. So if you want to get the time, you can decide to convert this hours to minutes. Right, good. So this is about 0.2927 minutes. So if you want to get the equivalent in minutes, you just multiply that by 60. So if you decide to open up the, okay, let's just call this minutes, and then we say this is let's just call that decimal, and then it will be a function of our fields, which is the cost times 60. Right, good. So we click on OK. So it means it took you 17 minutes going through this part from the start up to the end. Right, good. So it's going to take you 17 minutes if you are going to move from the start down to the end. So this field of cost tells you the time it took you, just like when we did for the shortest, the field for cost gave you what the distance. So this time around it gives you the time, and then the time here is in hours, which you can actually convert to minutes. Right, good. So that's how this particular algorithm works. We have shown you using QGIS, maybe when you're carrying out network analysis, how you can assign, definitely if there are limits to the different routes, the speed limits to the different routes, which we have done, and then how you can declare the field, and then the algorithm would compute the fastest between the start and the end point. Right, good. So we are also going to explore more options under the network analysis. Until then, keep staying safe and have a fantastic time. Bye.